Hello, hello, hello. We're going to use the orange ball today. You're going to start out sitting on it, like this. Knees bent, space between your legs. From the side, it looks like this. Knees bent, space between your legs. If you can't sit like this, boink, boink. You're just going to sit like that with your legs out in front of you. Okay. Hello again. Let's breathe. Try to set your pelvis so it's vertical in your starting position. You'll feel your sit bones and your pubic bone against the wall. You can bounce on it a little bit or rock around to find that center. And then head and ribs stacked right over your hips. Let's take your hands behind your head. Tune into your breath, and as you do, I'm just going to get you into a tiny bit of motion with your elbows. When you breathe in, feel your rib cage expanding and open the elbows slightly with that phase of your breath. And then when you exhale, feel your ribs hug together and down, and let your elbows angle forward a little. As you inhale, open your elbows wider, lifting your heart. And then exhale, feel your chest soften and the elbows angle in. Big breath in. And then exhale, feeling the chest release. Now we're going to add a bigger spinal motion, lifting into extension when you inhale. And then exhale, curl forward over the legs. Breathe in, let the elbows open wide as you lift up. And then exhale and angle the elbows forward as you flex. Imagine putting space between the bones as you rise. And when you flex forward, feel the abs draw in, the ribs hug together. Come up one more time with another big inhale. And then lower your arms back down. Leave your right hand resting on your leg. Take your left arm out to the side. I want you to take a breath in. You're going to turn to the left, opening the arm out wide to the side. And when you exhale, rotate the other way, wrapping your arm around like a hug. Inhale as you rotate to one side, and exhale across. You can press your hand into the leg on your knee a little bit. That helps you make more twist. Inhale, open, and exhale, hug. Inhale, reach out. Give me one more hug in, and then inhale to open again. Switch hands. All right, start out that little pressure, hand to leg, and then rotate away from that support knee. Breathe in here, let that breath expand your chest. Exhale, rotate to the left and hug yourself, and then inhale back to the right. And exhale, twist like you're wringing out. Inhale as you open. Exhale, draw the arm across, and inhale back out. 2 more times. Inhale nice and tall. Last time, compress and expand. All right, from here, let's place the ball underneath one of your knees, just behind the knee, so it's on the upper part of your shin. I'm going to have you go into a crawling motion. And from the beginning, you're going to have motion in your pelvis, and your hips are not going to be even as we do this. You're going to crawl forward with the knee on the ball, just letting it slide, and the opposite hand. So that's one stride. Now we're going to come backwards, a little past where we started, so the ball does end up under your knee. And again, I'm a little bit staggered in my stance. So I'm going to crawl forward and back. Now, to the ability you have, like with the health of your wrists, I want you to throw a little weight onto the arm. So you feel like you're starting a push-up and then shoving yourself back. And forward and back. 2 more times. And last one. All right, now we're going to keep, I'm going to turn towards you just to show you this angle. So before, you had it directly under your hip. Now I'm going to have you open it out to the side. I'm still around the same part of my knee, but closer to where that lower leg meets the inner thigh. You're going to get slightly lower. Now when you crawl the leg, it's going to be the same side arm. So we're going to take them both together forward, and then back. Keep going. I'm going to give you side feet. Quick turn. And forward, and back. So this is more of our Spider-Man crawl, but I wanted you to see from the side how with the leg out, I can get so much lower at the hips. And if you've been working on the hip mobility stuff, this will help the deep squat and all those other drills. One more time, forward and back. All right, I'm going to turn around just so you still have ball view. All right, so I'm back to the more parallel legs, but the more crooked hips. Remember, start with it just behind your knees so you'll have that extra space to go back. Okay, this first set goes with the opposite arm. You're gonna take that crawling motion forward. The ball will roll down towards your ankle. Crawl back, it's closer to the knee. And we take it forward and back. So you're gonna throw in the weight into the arm. And kind of make this feel like you're doing almost a bounce. And back, one more time. Forward and back. All right, we're gonna open that leg. Get that wider position, just a little lower with your hips. And then the same side arm is gonna crawl with that leg and then pull it back. Looking for hip flexion here. Back staying pretty neutral, or you can just think of it as flat. That's easier to imagine. 2 more times. And last one. And back. All right, ball between your feet. Toes curled underneath your feet. Come into your normal quadruped position. We're going to go into a knee hover. Spread your fingertips wide so we can take some of the pressure out of your wrists. When you exhale, push into your fingertips. Start to lift your knees up, and when they come off the mat, shift your weight back slightly toward your toes. Stay here and breathe in, and then exhale to come back down. And again, you're going to let your weight shift in your fingers. Start to push away from the floor as the knees come up, shift back slightly. Now I'm loading up the knuckles of my big toes right now, and then coming back down. So if you've been working on improving your gait, this is the bend you want to get in the toes. Shift forward, press into your fingers. Now knees up, keep a little squeeze on that ball, shift back. Stay, come on, back down, one more time. Shift to the fingers. As you lift those knees, squeeze the ball, shift back, keep your back nice and neutral. Hold there, breathe in, and then lower back down. Let's go into a catch stretch, just so you get a little mobility through your shoulders. 2 breath pattern. I want you to exhale, tuck your tail under, round your spine, squeeze that ball, hang your head. Inhale, stake out your tailbone, flatten your back, lift your chest and chin. Exhale, tuck your tail under, round the spine, look towards the knees, and then roll it back out, open the chest, lift the chin. 2 more. Exhale, flex your spine. And inhale, roll it back out. 1 more time. Exhale, curl, and inhale, back up to flat. All right, down onto your back. Ball underneath. 1 foot. Other foot's flat on the mat for a hip roll. All right, arms by your sides. When you exhale, start to curl your hips off the mat. Roll up 1 bone at a time until you're in a bridge. Stay in your lift for an inhale, and then roll back down. I've got my hood tucked in this weird place. That was making me crooked. Okay, exhale. Curl your hips off. On the floor foot, give a little pressure into your big toe. You want to stay aware of your inner thigh muscles. Inhale here, and then roll, hit back down. 1 more time like that. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, curl your pelvis off the mat. Try to keep pulling that ball in, which will be a job for your hamstrings on that side. Inhale at the top, and then roll back down again. All right, now your next challenge, you're gonna stay up a little longer, and we're gonna do a little rotation from your hips. So go ahead and curl yourself off. Let's set that bridge. You're in a long line from your shoulders to your knees. Okay, so now turning from where your hips are, I want you to drop the ball side hip a little so your pelvis rotates slightly towards that side. So you get a pretty good view of my hips crooked, and then you're gonna push that hip back up till your pelvis is level. Now let the other hip sink, and then press back up, and we'll keep alternating. So the ball side sinks a little, and push back up. This has to stay small if your legs are gonna stay parallel. So I've got a limit to how much it can sink, and then up, and dip down, and back up, and then roll down through your spine. All right, last variation, going back up to the bridge. Now you're trying to resist that rotation you made, and you're gonna do leg slides. Let's lift your hips up, find the shape of the bridge. I'm gonna have you roll the ball away from you, and at the same time, I want you to take your hips down to a hover position. So I'm still off the mat, but lower. And as I pull it back in, I'm gonna lift up to higher bridge. Roll it away, go low, pull it back in, go high. Roll away, go low, and then back up. 2 more times, away, and lift. Last one, away and hover, back up. Now roll back down to the mat. All right, switch the ball to the other foot. Let's go back to just doing the rolls. As you exhale, curl your hips off the mat, give a little pressure into that ball, roll up to bridge, inhale at the top, and then roll back down, one bone at a time. Rock back to neutral. Exhale, curl your hips off. You can play with the amount of pressure you're giving the ball. Remember, you can load up that other leg more if you need. Breathe in at the top, and then roll back down. Rock back to neutral. One more of those. Start to curl off on your exhale. Try to reach your knees away from your shoulders. Stay here to breathe in, and then roll back down again. All right, so we're back to playing around with those hips. Roll yourself up, establish your bridge. All right, so it's right here, think moving from the hip bones. So I'm gonna sink down on the ball side, creating the small twist. Exhale, press up to your level. Now, non-ball side, and push back up. I get a little more range of motion on the ball leg, and that is because I can change the angle of the ankle. And sink down, and back up. Last one, non-ball, and lift, roll back down. I find those very hard. Do you find those very hard? All right, high bridge, low bridge. Roll yourself back up, set the peak of your bridge, get those abs strong, use those hamstrings. Now roll the ball away from you as you drop down to a lower hover, and then push back up. So we're sinking, flexing at the hips, and then using that hamstring to push back up. On the other side, we're kind of occupied, right? Try to drag that ball in, and two more times. Reach out, pull and lift. Last one, reach out, pull and lift, keep that ball in, roll back down to the mat. Okay, let's put the ball behind your mid back for a crunch. Let me just take off this layer of clothes. All right. Oh, I forgot I was wearing orange. Orange on orange. Terrible, terrible. Okay. Crunch, shall we? So you're gonna put this against your mid-back. Hands are gonna go behind your head. Leave some space in between your legs so that you feel stable in your base. And let's backwards up the breathing, shall we? I want you to lay back into extension when you exhale. Use that phase of breath to stay connected with your abdominals. So there's some force pulling your ribs down as you lay your head back into extension. Now when you breathe in, try to breathe into the back of your ribs where you're touching the ball. And as you fill up with air, let that expansion in the back of your body bring you up to the crunch. So you're gonna make the work coming down slowly. Trying to stay connected with your abs working as they get longer. And then when you breathe in, we want to come up with ease, less effort. Breathe into the back and curl forward. Exhale, lay back. If you hate moving slow like this, don't worry, it won't be for much longer. Inhale, curl back up. Glide your shoulders down, try to keep tension out of your neck. Inhale, exhale, lay back. And inhale, expand the back and curl up. One more time. Exhale, lay back. And inhale, curl up. All right, now, just take the ball up, back a little bit higher. I'm gonna have you go back to the more traditional breathing, and we're just gonna put a little more zip behind the movement. So now you're gonna inhale, lay back, exhale, curl back up. Now the height I've placed the ball for right now should actually make the crunch a little bit easier, but it's better to help you mobilize your upper back into extension. So I want you to really work on the coordination of supporting neck and head, but letting the shoulder blades glide back and down and then spread apart. You're gonna do 4 more like this. And up, 3, exhale, pressing into that ball 2 more times. Make sure you don't leave the ball, but curl deeper into it, last one. And then back up. All right, so we're gonna keep the ball at this height, but I want you to move over to the side, so half of your body is exposed to that ball, and the ball is covering the other half, from like, say, your breastbone to your shoulder. Now, when you've moved it off center, It's going to be a little harder to keep your hips level, but just try to square off as best you can with your legs parallel. All right, hands go behind your head again. I want you to rotate your upper body towards the ball. So you're going to do a twist. So you're beginning the exercise rotated and in flexion. Now, I want you to move slow again on this as you feel it out. You're going to rotate away from the ball while you're starting to lay down. So halfway through the rotation, pause. I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm pretty close to neutral. And then I'm going to keep turning away from the ball and try to fall into this space where there's no ball. I'm going to come up through the middle and rotate across the ball. Okay, they will not be that slow. Inhale, lay back. Still notice when you're in the middle. Keep wrapping your body around the ball to drop down, and exhale, come up and across. Inhale, lay back. Your ball should be moving slightly underneath you, but you're trying to trace its shape. So I'm opening in proportion of falling in that hole. Exhale to come back up. 3 more times. Inhale, lay back. And exhale, lift. And drop back. And up. I counted wrong. You got 2 more. Sorry. And exhale, lift. 1 more time. Laying down. And exhale, up. All right, let's move that over to the other side. All right. So again, square off as best you can. You're going to start turn. So I've pushed that ball a little bit, still flexed in my rotation. First one slow like we did on the other side. Start to come back and begin to unravel. So we've got that midpoint. I'm looking at the ceiling, and then I'm going to keep twisting around the ball, opening that shoulder into extension. I'm going to come back up, and it's in the middle, supporting the head, and then curling forward into flexion. All right, smoothing it out. Inhale as you go down, looking away from the ball. Exhale, flexing and rotating towards the side that has the ball. Inhale, back, and exhale, up and across. Inhale, rotate, lay back. Exhale, up and across. 4 more times. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. And 3, expand the chest. Exhale, up and across. Last 2. Exhale, over. 1 more time, dropping down. And exhale, over. All right, let's take the ball out. Let's turn onto your side. You're going to place the ball even with your chest so that you can drape your upper body over the ball into a side bend. Lay with your bottom knee bent and your top leg straight. And if you just take a peek, try to set that top leg so it's in line with your body. The other one's tucked under a little bit like the number 4 position. All right, I'm going to lay with my bottom arm palm up and the elbow bent. Top arm's resting on my side. All right, to create your side bend, you're going to slide your top arm down your leg. And as we side bend, you're going to lift your bottom arm to become part of the load you're lifting. And then you're going to lower back down. Oh, you probably should breathe. Let's take an exhale breath as you're lifting up so we can use the breath to pull the ribs down towards the hips and inhale lower. Now, if this load feels heavy and you're having trouble getting up, the ball might be up too high. Take it down out of your armpit a little bit. Or you might need to work with your arm bent as an alternative. Okay, so that's your backup plan. Takes a little bit of the load away. Exhale as you lift. And inhale lower. And exhale up. Give me 2 more like that. And last one, lifting and drop back down. All right, take your top arm overhead and just take a little side stretch. All right, prop up on your bottom elbow and support your head in your hand. Top hand's gonna go behind your head as well. Take both legs, straighten them out and kick them slightly forward. Take that top leg up to hip height, keep your leg parallel. Flex your foot and then swing it forward, taking 2 pulses to the front. When you exhale, you're going to take 1 kick to the back and let your upper body rotate a little. So 2 kicks forward, exhale back. This rotation is not the focal point of the exercise, but if you do it, you'll notice it helps as a counterbalance so you can get more range of motion in your hip. 4 more times like this. Work to keep the leg at the same height as best you can, pushing out through the heel. Point your toes, kick it back. Last 2. Inhale, reach, reach. Exhale, sweep back the leg. And inhale to kick for 2. And exhale right back. All right, stay on the side. I want you to bring the ball under your hip. You're gonna go down on your forearm, and then you're gonna stagger your stance. Bottom leg slightly forward, top leg slightly back, top hands on your hip or at your forehead. Sometimes that feels a little awkward on your shoulder. Okay, you're gonna press down into your forearm, and you're gonna lift your hips away from the ball and then lower them back down. So I'm taking as much load as I can into the shoulder, trying to offload, restoring the roundness to the ball, and then come back down. You can also put your hand there, and that's great if you struggle with shoulder stability. Having this opposing energy reaching up might also support you. Same thing with here. Exhale as you lift and drop back down. Just 2 more like that, pressing up and lower. Last one to lift and drop back down. All right, just slide off the ball. Shake that out a little. Let's do the other side. All right, so we're going back to against the side of your rib cage first. And sit up on over. Bottom leg bent, top leg out straight, and then side bend over your ball. All right, let's try that smooth side bend motion first. As you exhale, initiate with the arm gliding down your leg, and then bring your head and your bottom arm up with you. Inhale as you lower back down. Exhale as you lift, and inhale to return. You will feel some activation in the outer hip of that top leg. Even though we're keeping the foot pressing into the floor, we have to activate those muscles to create tone through the whole side of your body. You've got 3 more times. Remember, you can go to this if the load's feeling too heavy, and 2 to lift, and drop. Last one, exhale up, and inhale lower. All right, prop up on your elbow. You got the legs kicked forward towards the front edge of the mat, and the top hand behind your head as well. All right, take that top leg up to hip height. On your inhale, you're gonna do 2 kicks towards the front. Point your toes, do 1 sweeping kick, let that twist happen. Inhale, 2 kicks forward, and exhale, point and kick back. Inhale to reach, reach. Exhale, sweep back the leg, and inhale, kick, kick, and exhale back. 4 more times. Reach, reach. Maintain your height as you kick back. 3 to kick, kick, and exhale, sweep the leg. Last 2. Reach, reach, and exhale back. 1 more time. Kick for 2, and swing it back. All right, let's move it up and down to the hip. Shift your weight, get loaded on your forearm, and then we're gonna stagger the legs. 1 back, 1 forward. Remember, you got here, you got here, you got here, all those choices. All right, on your exhale, press into your forearm, lift your hip away from the ball, inhale down. By the way, this way isn't better. I know I keep favoring this, only because it's the first one I said, and then back down. Exhale, lift up, and inhale, lower. Try to drop your working shoulder out of your ear. Let your head fall to allow that hip to go up. 3 more times. Exhale, lift. Inhale, return. And 2 to lift up. Inhale to lower. 1 more time. Exhale, lift. And inhale down. Go ahead, slide off your ball. Shake it out. All right, let's stand up. Okay, kind of using reverse pressure against the ball again. Let's explore a lunge. If you struggle with balance, you can do this near the wall where you can hold onto it, or you can hold onto a chair. You're gonna place the ball. This is not, you'd want the chair off to your side if you're using a chair. All right, so you're gonna place the ball underneath your shin, and you need to be able to keep your foot down. So toes curled under again, so we're gonna improve in that range of motion in all the toes, but especially the big toe, and it'll help you with your lunges, keeping that back heel off the ground. All right, so I'm letting my body weight be in the ball. Torso's vertical, stacked over that thigh, hand there on the chair or the wall if you need it. Now I'm gonna push into the front foot, and I'm gonna take some weight off the ball to restore the air. Tap, lift, tap, lift. So I'm spending more time off the ball than on it. And I'm kind of using a bounce into the ball to challenge my ability to then freeze and just stillness, So I'm getting the weight into that thigh. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, emphasize the down. Bounce to it. Bounce to it. So you're just pushing down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up it. All right, take it to the other leg. That was a surprise, right? I mean, just based on how the rest of the workout is going. All right, so setting up your lunge, and even if you don't need the chair for balance when you're doing it, sure makes setting it up easier. All right, so I want to get that vertical alignment or as close to that as I can over the back thigh. I'm going to get off of it, bounce into it, pause up. Bounce into it, pause up. Bounce into it, pause up. I can't think of anything else to say. You've got 4. It's because I'm suffering a little. 3. Last 2. Drive it into that front foot. 1 more. Now reverse the emphasis. Push down, down, down. You've got 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Push yourself all the way up. All right. Go into a second position now. Start with your ball at chest height. Come on down into a plie. I want you to flex your spine and push the ball away from you. Bring it back to your chest and look up. You're going to curl forward and look back up. Let's do 4 more of those. And lift. 3. Last 2. And 1. All right, bring the ball overhead. And now I want you to turn side to side. Let's do 6 and 5. Make sure your head's turning with you. Keep sitting down low into that plie. Last 2 and 1. Arms overhead. Pulse down with your hips. Yay, lots of pulses. You've got 4, 3, 2, stay down. Give your ball a little squeeze. Lift and lower your heels. Up, down, up, down. Lift, drop. You've got 4 more. And 3, 2, 1. All right, rise back up. We're gonna go through the mechanics of the train. Ball's gonna stay at chest height. I want you to plie, lift your heels, reach overhead when you straighten the legs, and then bring it down to chest height. So it'll be chest height the whole time, except for reaching up and then lower. Bend your knees, lift your heels, reach overhead, drop your heels. Last one this way, bend your knees. Lift your heels, reach up, lower down. Let me sit back a little. Okay, lift your heels, reach your arms overhead. Bend the knees, bring it back to chest height, stand up tall, lift your heels. Bend your knees, back to chest height and drop your heels, then stand. Heels up, knees bent. Drop your heels, straighten up. Last one, heels up, knees bend, drop heels, straighten up. All right, legs to parallel, butt still wide. Bend your knees, take the ball to the floor. So from the side, looking like this. So I've got wide stance. I'm gonna get really low with my weight over my heels. I'm gonna push the ball away a little bit, and then I want you to drag it towards you, round your spine to a cat, then back to flat back. Flex and flat. Curl, flatten. 2 more times, flex, flat, flex, flat. Tuck your tail, roll up to stand. All right, from this wide stance, ball at chest height again, side lunge, reaching overhead. I'm gonna go down in the side lunge, come into a tap foot and arm overhead. Down and up. Then if you wanna progress this harder than that, we're gonna change it to one leg in the air. Down, in, squeezing your inner thighs. Okay, so you got those 2 options, and we got 3 more reps. And 2. One more time like that. Leave your arms overhead and just step wide with both legs straight. Still mostly pushing off with this leg. I'm gonna pull the ball down to chest height, rotate and march the knee, and then come back down. Twist and lift. So if you still need, that could still be tap in, step out. Tap in, 4 more either way. Pull it in and reach out. 3, last 2, and 1 more time. All right, we got another side. Make sure you're still wide. Going low first. So I take that side lunge, tap in. Side lunge, tap in. All right, do we need it harder? We go here. So many choices. Let's do 4. And 3. 2 more this style. Okay, arms overhead. Boom. Step it out wide. All right, pulling it down to chest height, twist it and march it. Rotate and come down. Ooh, a little slower than that. Sorry. Backup plan is that tap and return, tap. 4 more either way. Pull in. And 3, 2, and 1. Done. All right, feet back in. Just to get comfortable with part. I want you to reach your arms overhead. Step the same side leg behind for like a little curtsy pose. Come to the middle, bending your knees just a little, then step up and over to the other side. Small squat in the middle, and up and over. Center, and reach. Just 4 to finish. So I think I said the last thing we were gonna do is the last thing. This is really the last thing. 2, and 1, and done. All right. Bye. Have a great day. I will see you soon.